Hey everyone, it's Chris from Bullish Chips. I just wanted to make you a little video to introduce myself and let you know what this channel is about. I guess I'm just your everyday average guy. Been a long term investor for about 25, a little over 25 years now. And my long term investing has consisted mostly of investing in tech. I guess my first stock purchase, I still remember it was 1998. I purchased Ericsson Cellular. Um, in 1999, the movie The Matrix came out, and the Ericsson Cellular phone was the phone that they used, the one with that sliding face, and the stock blew up, and that's when I got my first taste of a stock split. Of course, I don't have Ericsson Cellular anymore. The stock I've had probably the longest is Apple, and I got to go through the stock split of 2014, along with the most recent one in 2020. But that's kind of where my investing began. I continued, long-term investing, dollar cost averaging, and putting a little bit more money in at times when the market was down. But I continued doing that up until about 2016, when I decided to start trading Bitcoin. Did that for a couple years and was doing pretty well. Granted, Bitcoin was in a bull run, but in 2018, I then decided to, take the skills I had learned in trading Bitcoin and learning to read charts and move that over to stocks and start getting into options trading as well. Remember I didn't have any parent that worked on Wall Street. Or my parents weren't even trading a little bit of money on their own. They were just trying to save money, and keep a roof over our head. So I had to put in a lot of work reading books to formulate a trading plan in those early days. So 2018, I got a couple years of trading in, started to, or solidify my trading plan at that time, and then COVID hit, and that kind of changed the way everyone was trading out there. People trading, at least people trading before COVID hit. But after COVID hit, the Fed started sending checks out to everyone, and a new trend kind of started where people were stuck at home and trying their hand at trading. So the market drastically changed. I think everyone who remembers the bull run of 2020 to 2021, the highs of 2021. But then 2022 hit, and we had the bear market. But for me, this was a gift in disguise. I got to experience downturns in the market while long-term investing, and that's not scary really, because the market has a history of going up long-term. I didn't need the money at that time. I was still relatively young, and I knew getting those shares at a lower price was worth it. So um, now that I was trading, I saw this as like a gift in disguise. I'd never really tried buying puts before, because 2020, 2021, it were really going back to 2018. In 2018, we were in a bull market. 2019 as well. So I never really had to try puts or shorting the market. But in 2022, when we had the bear market, I was able to um, implement my trading strategy on the downside to make money to the downside, and really that solidified to me that the trading methodology I had come up with, it really works. And this is something I could go with. I read a lot of books, put in a lot of research. I guess this is YouTube, so nobody wants to hear about books, but I never really was able to get on board with a lot of those gurus and think people like that popping up at the time, since everybody was investing. But I was actually introduced to two different YouTube channels that brought a little bit of credibility to the space, I would say, to the financial space on YouTube. Um, really delivering great information, real research, and teaching people the right way. And so, I followed them a little bit, and actually was able to use a couple of pieces of their techniques to further hone my trading methodology, and it actually increased, my winning percentage a little bit, but more importantly, the profitability of my trades. They don't use a bunch of indicators or overcomplicate things. Those two people, I should actually point out, are Rob Smith. Rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He's the inventor of the strat. Rob's father ran Merrill Lynch's institutional desk on the CBOE, the Chicago Board Options Exchange. And in high school, Rob actually began working during the summers at the CBOE. He studied charts and price action, very intensely. But he developed a simple method for reading price action. The fact that a candle can only do one of three things on any time frame, and combining this with broadening formations. Personally, it's probably the most simple way to read a chart that I've ever seen, and it gives you an actual real understanding of what's going on any price time frame. So I highly encourage people to do research on Rob Smith and his specific strategy, the strat. I'll put a few links to resources for you in the description of this video. But there's really tons of information out there. He was interviewed by plenty of publications, and so you should be able to find plenty on him. I think there's even some groups out there that have been formed over the past few years that use the strat, especially since Rob is no longer with us, to continue to carry his knowledge and education on. The second person that I would follow is Matt from Trade Brigade. Again, I'll put some links out there. Matt actually does a morning show starting every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, where he breaks down where things are at in the market from a day trade or short swing trade perspective. But he also brings in macroeconomic knowledge and information, and things like that, to have the whole picture, and really gives a comprehensive breakdown of key levels from a day trading perspective, just overnight high, overnight low, previous day's high, previous day's low, and how to use them along with the opening print to form a trading plan, at least especially in the mornings, when the market has the first hour to hour and a half, to get a good assessment of where the market is at and where you might need to be leaning in your trades that day. So I encourage, again, everyone do a little bit of research, check out Matt and his channel Trade Brigade, maybe even tune into one of his morning shows. But again, I just wanted to give two people out there credit in the YouTube space, giving some actual credibility to the financial space on YouTube. That kind of helped me hone my methodology even a little bit more than it already was. But that just, like I said, brings me to the point of research. I really want to stress that. Don't take my words as gospel. My videos are just my thoughts on how I look at the market, and really just SOXL specifically. I won't make too many statements on the broader market, other than some obvious stuff that plays into how SOXL is going to move. But I'm just telling you just my thoughts off the top of my head, what I see in SOXL specifically. No big production, and I don't expect everyone to agree with my thoughts. That's the beauty of this world, is we can all have our own thoughts. And there maybe only be a small portion of people out there who might enjoy my thoughts or breakdowns of a chart. That's fine, but again, don't take my words as gospel. Although I'm, at a point in my career where I've proven that I can consistently make money, short-term trading. I did quietly put in many years of learning and honing and developing my trading methodology, which was a lot of research. It was in that research, though, that I found this gem in SOXL. Again, it's the Direxion Daily Semiconductor Bull ETF, ticker symbol SOXL. It's the only thing I'll talk about trading on this channel, but it provides 3 times the daily exposure to a modified market cap weighted index of the top 30, or not top, but just 30 U.S. listed semiconductor companies. Um, they hold companies like AMD, Nvidia, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, Micron, semiconductors, but again, nothing but semiconductors. Um, Again, I ran across this in research. I had already had exposure to SMH, plenty of experience trading SMH, um, and loved the big moves that it had in the market. Semiconductors, chips, makes big moves. It has good magnitude, even intraday. So it makes it easy even for a trend trader because of that magnitude. Um, because SMH was a bit pricey, especially when you're starting out or in the early stages of trading. Even if you do have a good methodology, it can be a bit expensive to trade SMH. So I was able to find SOXL. It gives you the exposure to the semiconductors in SMH. It's a triple leverage ETF, but um, the low options contract premium for the delta to theta to gamma ratio that you get is almost unbelievable. I've traded a lot of companies, and I kept coming back to SOXL. I kept trading only SOXL for a week on a whim one time, and with the magnitude of the moves it was making, I realized this is something I could make a good amount of money on from an everyday perspective for relatively low risk and low cost. So if you've not already researched the SOXL ETF, I encourage you again, research. Go out and do your research. There's plenty of information out there. And that kind of brings me to where I am now. I've established a consistent trading methodology, and the methodology has been proven to provide me a relatively low risk way to produce steady income. Um, Now that the methodology has proven to work in like all conditions, I just want to share my thoughts. I don't even want to say knowledge, but just thoughts, in the hopes that it would help someone, become a better trader sooner, or find that daily trader that they can trade and make consistent money for low risk relative to what we're doing, and for low cost. Um, from day trades to short swings to leaps, even shares. Full disclosure, I do own over 100 shares of SOXL. I think I purchased them at $10 a share, and I use them sometimes for covered calls or to create credit spread situations. Um, for now, this channel will focus only on one leg naked calls or naked puts. Again, I'm new to the YouTube and just want to kind of get comfortable with that before I start trying to throw out a bunch of intricate trading plans. But as the channel grows, I'll integrate some of the other strategies that I use. Um, Again, this will be SOXL and only SOXL. Um, my videos, they'll just consist of my nightly preparation for the next trading day. I'll also include my end of month, and end of quarter and end of year. I'll create videos to kind of show how I get ready for the next month, the next quarter, the next year, and kind of get an understanding of where I'm looking for things to go. Again, I'm never locked in and say I know where the market is going to go. We can find good probabilities of where the market will go, but I never want to say I know exactly where it's going to go, which helps keep me nimble and able to make money in either direction. Follow along if you find value in my videos. Hit the like button, subscribe, just so I know I'm actually helping somebody. You can turn your notifications on if you want. I'm sure you've got plenty of notifications turned on, but that way you can at least know when I post a new video. I'm really excited about the future of this channel. I look forward to giving you my perspective. I don't claim to know everything. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I do ask that if you do feel the need to say something negative or something in an unconstructive way, maybe think about just skipping ahead and going to watch something else that you might actually like. Again, I don't expect everyone to like me. I don't need everyone to like me. I just wanted to put my thoughts out there, and if it helps somebody, it'll help somebody. I just want to put, I just want a small place where I can put out positive energy and someplace where learning can thrive. So thank you for watching this video, learning a little bit about me, and make sure to check out for the next video for an introduction to my charting process and how I come up with the levels and whatnot that I do for the charts that I use every day to trade SOXL. So thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.